Facing your motors for the robot. First things first, I kind of threw this together so it was a little messed up so I could, show you how to start even if it is not in the position you want. Now, if you remember from last time, we were not able to move this component. We had to go over here and we had to select it. That way we could actually move it. So you want to select this thing, and the first thing you want to do is make sure that it's in the proper orientation. So we're going to orient this maybe here, and then we'll just say, okay, we definitely needed to swing out. So, that's okay. We're just going to basically look at it and say, what is our best bet? And the best bet right now is to try and get it to go straight down. That way we can look side to side and make sure that it's oriented properly. Okay, so that looks like it's pretty much there, but again, we don't want to have to freeform this thing. We don't want to have to sit here and guess how we're going to put it onto a platform. We want to draw a platform probably first and then align it based on that. Now it is faced in the right direction and we should be okay to go. Now we'll hit finish rest in place and we will draw where it is we want this to be. So we're going to select the plane, go up to create and create a sketch. We're going to use the polygon tool. I like to use the circumscribe because it gives me a center point and it'll make sense in about a minute. But we're going to type in 100. 100 means the distance that, it goes from center to wall as a radius. And then we're going to click tab. And by clicking tab, we can now assign however many faces we want. I want to do 8 because, like I said, polygon is not going to cut it. I want to put something at an angle, but I also want the flat faces just in case. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to come up here with the line tool and I'm going to use construction radian so that I can subdivide this thing. Now, what I did was I just made one quick line, but it could be anywhere in space. So what I want to do is make sure that it's the midpoint of that line. So I just click that midpoint there. You can also just hover over the wall. So if you hover over the wall, it'll show you where the midpoint is because it knows that you want to make a right angle. So if you do that, it'll show you a preview. That's the better way, I think, of doing it because it does kind of give you that consistency where you can move a little faster if you go. But again, if you for any reason get it misaligned, like here I'll intentionally do it, you can come up here to midpoint, grab the wall, grab the point, it'll figure itself out, okay? You'll be fine. So again, we'll just do this. And here it's going to get a little confused. And so what's really great is like if you have a component and this is all, kind of hard to see, you can grab the wall, you can grab the point, it'll figure that out for you. You don't have to get all lost in that mix. Okay, so we have that sketch, and that's great. That's how we're going to place our motor. Remember, these motors, these bigger ones, they're going to be used for things like a drivetrain, like a wheel, a rudder, whatever it is that you guys are going to use. You're going to have different motors for different actions. The steppers for fine motor actions, that's things like grippers, claws, collecting things, small things, because you don't want to put a ton of strain on these usually. And these are mostly for, workhorse things like power. Like you want this to be a brushless motor for a drill or something like that. Or you want to use it for wheels. So we have this and now we want to place it. There are a couple ways we can place things, but I'm going to go in here and edit. It will still show me that drawing, which is really useful. I'm going to move it and I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can move your object. It automatically has this create copy tool. And the create copy tool is great because it will make a perfect copy of the object that you've imported. However, one thing to keep in mind is when you do that, they are in the same position. So if you look here, that motor axle, the shaft that comes out of here, that's not really where I want it placed, right? Like I actually want the motor to be mirrored. And so what might be easier for me, since we did make this from the origin, we do have a plane, is that I might want to come in and I might want to mirror this thing. So I would just grab this component, or this body rather, and I would use this mirror plane. And when I do that, it's going to put this in position where I have the shaft on the other side. See, these now are mirrored. Now, this would be good except for the fact that I probably don't have a collar or anything, attached to here. So you might want to go back into move, and if you use these, you can have it go to whatever length you want. There are also different positions, like point to point. We've been using mostly the freeform, but you could go point to point. You could say, hey, I need this to be here. If it has a point, that is, and it doesn't. So I could also say like, hey, you go there, and it'll snap to grid. Um, just something to keep in mind. And also, one really, really, really useful tool, which we will use now, is the Move Tools pivot function. So this is called set pivot. I want to make that pivot right here in the center. When I do that, I have to click this little green check mark, otherwise it doesn't actually load. So I've clicked that center and I click the green check mark. And what that allows me to do now is when I want to copy this thing, I click the little create copy and I can rotate it, and it will now rotate around that pivot point, okay? Now that's going to be really useful because it's going to make short order of all of those motor layouts. And that's pretty much what you're going to want to do for your first drivetrain. This last piece, this little guy, he's easy to move. This little servo thing, we can just get out of the way, and then we can position it how we see fit. So I would say I probably want to put it here for now, just to kind of get it out of the way. I would pivot it just around itself. Notice the pivot is actually set to there. And when you're looking at a servo, the main thing is the mounting of the thing. So we'll drag it to there, just so we can see it, and we'll swing around. Yep, that's good. So we'll want to get here, and we'll want to just come up to edge and say this. This is the mounting structure of this. So we don't want it to go beyond, whatever our layout is. It's probably going to have to be around here because we do have material that it's going to have to drill into. That's like what these little holes are for. So whatever you're making, this is how you're going to move around your motors. We'll get further into it. I like to take this method and think of it kind of as a layer cake. So if I were to extrude this, I would capture the position and I would say, hey, I need this to be like 10 millimeters tall. And now, you can see why I didn't have that thing right there, because like I can't even drill that into the edge. That would run right into it. But let's say that's what I'm going to do. I would grab this and I would say, you know what? I'm going to move you up a little bit and over a little bit, because at least now I can drill this into the sidewall if that's what I'm going to try and do. Either way, though, you want to make sure everything is in place and locked in. And what's really nice about this is even with this, how we have it, everything's set up so that now you could even grab parts of this and extrude cut through there. So it's just a nice way of setting up your motors the way you want on a pattern or on a grid. Anyways, email me if you have any questions at all, and of course, I'm always here to help.